1 in 5 people are classified as having risky drinking behaviours in Guernsey. That was in a survey back in 2018 by the Committee for Health and Social Care. But what is risky behaviour? When does problem drinking become a problem?
If somebody feels that alcohol is causing them a problem, whether it's in relationships, financially, whether it's to do with offending behaviour.
Tracy Rear from the Guernsey charity Independence. Here's Dave Newman from the Guernsey Alcohol Advisory Service.
Alcohol dependency, problematic drinking, whatever you want to call it, is no respecter of age, sex, social status and so on. And our community services see people from a whole range of backgrounds in Guernsey, all sorts of employment, all the way down to people who arrive at our service looking at the residential unit and they have a back bin sack.
Alcohol dependency problems are very much swept under the carpet in Guernsey. A stigma is still attached to talk about them, but that doesn't mean they aren't going ahead. AA meetings, for example, in Guernsey happen daily with regular visitors, and even group sizes are up to 20 people in one session. Guernsey's drinking problem has been called as quite severe by another national alcoholism charity after receiving numerous distress calls and emails. Support meetings are closed to anyone outside of the group to protect anonymity, an issue which is of concern for those dependent on alcohol. Dave sees this at the Guernsey Alcohol Advisory Service.
I never lose sight of how much effort it takes for quite a few people to not only make the phone call, but walk in through our door. It's a small island. If I had a huge big neon sign saying alcohol services above the door and so on, I doubt whether I'd be getting many people through.
Tracy sees this too.
I do know that there are groups of people who, because it is a small community, are afraid of the impact on employment. So they're very cagey about coming forward.
Harry Lepedvin is licensee of the Mariners Pub on the Bridge and says business is steady, but drinkers in his establishment are there for the interaction.
It is as much the social aspect of and a place to meet than anything, almost certainly. Then they do come down, have a catch-up of an evening over a couple of pints down the pub.
He recognises there are people dependent on alcohol on island.
Everyone has their own story, everyone has their own problems. If you have an addiction to something, you'll find a way of finding it.
But do islanders think we have a problem?
Obviously there's all sorts of problems and probably drinking is one. Is there enough help really for people who's got the problem here?
England's the same. Probably people have turned to alcohol with the lockdown.
Yeah, quite a few people. All across the ages really, from teen years to older.
Some do, yes, but each to their own. You can't say, well, you can't drink. When we were in lockdown, people did drink more. We got a bit of a problem, I suppose.
If we have a drinking problem, why don't we have an addiction rehabilitation clinic like Jersey? Here's Chief Executive of the Rehab Clinic in Jersey, Jason Wise from Silkworth Charity Group.
Problems that exist here also exist in Guernsey. We're no different really in that respect. I think island life is a wonderful thing, but it also has its challenges as well. And it is a big problem in both islands. We receive a number of phone calls from Guernsey.
So does things like Alcohol Awareness Week or Dry January help highlight the amount we drink in Guernsey? Let's have a last comment from Dave.
It's bringing it into the public consciousness. It's discussing it. It's allowing agencies to say, yes, we are here. Yes, you can access it. It's also getting people to look at and examine and think about their own behaviour.
I guess the question is, are you aware of how much you're drinking?